Hello again and welcome back to the garden. As you can see, it is a beautiful spring morning here in sunny Hertfordshire, and that's fantastic because I've got a couple of jobs that I want to get on with in the garden. The main one is that I was lucky enough to be given some pots, some beautiful blue pots actually, which go with all my other pots, and I've got a few plants that I want to put in there. On top of that, I've got a mint plant that I want to repot. Now is a really great time of year to repot mint. It's a really good idea to put mint in new soil every couple of years because it needs the nutrients to grow, and if you forget to do that, you might find that your mint plants die off. I had originally planned to do it last November, and then when I looked into it, I realised no, end of November is not a good time of year when the plant's dormant. You actually want to wait until the growing season. But I think actually now is probably the best time because yes, it started growing again. You can just about see some new shoots, but there isn't so much vegetation that, it's kind of tricky to do. So I think it's a good job to be getting on with. And yeah, let me show you the pots and let's crack on. Yeah, so here then are the two pots that I got given. Really beautiful blue colours. And yeah, really happy that I got given those. Fantastic gift. Yeah, so here then are some of the pots that I have in my garden already. So yeah, they're this beautiful blue colour too. So I think they're going to go really well. So in this pot here, I've got some chocolate mint. It's just starting to grow again, but it's been in that pot for a while now, and I'm going to repot it on today. I thoroughly recommend growing chocolate mint if you like, I don't know if you like after eights or, minty chocolate. It's just like that, but you can have it in a tea, and yeah, obviously it's a lot healthier. And here I've got another mint that is a peppermint, black peppermint. Again, absolutely lovely. Yeah, so I've potted this on already, as you can probably see. I think the birds might have been digging in there. But yeah, it's looking really healthy already. And then finally over here, I've got some marjoram. Now, marjoram is a really good plant to grow. It's a herb. It can be used as a substitute for oregano in recipes. I am toying with the idea of planting this directly in the soil. Reason being that I've always grown marjoram in pots because where I lived before, it was very heavy clay soil that tended to get waterlogged. But I'm thinking here, the soil's very different and the drainage is much better, so maybe I could put it in the beds. Certainly the thyme that I have is doing incredibly well, so I think if the thyme can do well in the beds, so can the marjoram. But it's in there for now. I'm going to get going now with the repotting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use up some of the Miracle-Gro multi-purpose compost that I have. So I bought this originally for the compost experiment that I've been running on the channel, checking to see if it makes sense to spend more money on specialist seed composts or if a multi-purpose compost can do the job just as well. So in terms of the Miracle-Gro multi-purpose, I can say that it's not very good for seed germination at all. I mean, the experiment's still ongoing, but at the moment it is in bottom place. And therefore, I think it's a good idea to use this compost for other jobs. I think it will be absolutely perfect for repotting. It actually has a lot of strands in it, so almost like the remnants of hay or something like that. And while that isn't very good for seed sowing, actually having material that's still there to break down in your pots is no bad thing whatsoever. So it could be really perfect for this job. Right, so first up, I'm going to get repotting my Moroccan mint, which is currently just in this bog standard tiny black container. I'm going to get that repotted into here. It's going to look so much more attractive, and also it's going to give it that bit more space for its roots. Moroccan mint is a fantastic all-round mint to grow. If you are growing mint, I do recommend growing it in pots, not planting it directly into the soil. Now, this isn't first-hand knowledge. I've never dared try it myself, but when you go online, you'll find lots of people talking about how mint, which they've planted in the soil, has just completely taken over their garden. And yeah, we want to avoid that, right? Just to show you very quickly here what the Miracle-Gro multi-purpose compost looks like. You can see there are a lot of strands in here. And yeah, I don't think it's the best quality, but it was quite cheap. But I'm not concerned about the strands for this repotting because, as I say, I think they'll actually break down and provide nutrients to the plant in quite a slow release way, which actually could work out quite well. Lovely. See how compacted it is. It's It's not too bad, to be fair. There probably was a little bit of space left in there, but nevertheless, I do think it's going to be happier in its new home. Have I got the level right? Yeah, I think I have. Okay, so let me fill around it. Or maybe it could be just a teeny bit higher. Just a teeny bit. Now, this is going to sound a bit sad, but I treated myself to this copper scoop for my birthday. How beautiful is that? I don't know if you can see in the... Just stunning, right? And some people say that copper tools are meant to be good for the garden. I've got no idea about that, but I just thought it looked absolutely beautiful. Soil wedged down the sides. Yeah, looking better already. Absolutely lovely. Gosh, that is heavy. Okay, let me put that to the side. On then with the Sarcococca. I think that's how you say it. If not, I'll put the name. I'll put the name below. This is a really great winter flowering shrub. It has flowers. There's still a few left, but it flowers during the winter time and it has a beautiful fragrance. So yeah, it can be a really good addition to the garden. I got given it last year. I didn't know what to do with it because I don't like to plant too many shrubs in my garden. Because yeah, I want the space for fruit and veg, as you know if you watch this channel. But yeah, I think it will look really lovely in this pot that I've got. See, it's got these really beautiful ridges on it. And yeah, I think it's going to look really beautiful in there. And that can be its new home. I noticed that a calendula's decided to grow next to it. Yeah, I'm happy to leave that there. I'm actually thinking it could be a really good source of seeds because I think it's going to flower very soon. It's actually got a bit of a flower coming on it. Quite early, but yeah, if it helps to save some money on seeds, all good. Yeah, it's got some good roots on there. Okay, is that the right level? Maybe a little bit higher again. Yeah, that will do. I'm making such a mess here. I'm going to have to do some serious tidying up afterwards. But yeah, it's much easier to film these things on the compost bins here, so I can get a better shot rather than be crouching down. So yeah, my compost bins really double as a potting table. And when you've got a small garden, you just have to, yeah, take a flexible approach to how you use things. Yeah, that looks lovely, doesn't it? Absolutely beautiful. Really chuffed with that. That's the two done. So that's the two done. I'm now going to repot up my mint. Let me go get that. Okay. Let's see, weed. We don't want that, thank you. This is really jammed in, so this could be challenging. Oh. There we go. Hopefully there's enough nutrients in there now to keep it going for another year or so. Yeah, so look at that. I think these two new blue pots really do fit in well with my existing pots. And yeah, they look really lovely. You'd never known, I think, that I've literally just put that plant in there. It already looks quite happy to me. Oh yeah. You see there behind the majorum, I've also got a purple sage, which is doing really well. That grows really well in my garden. Highly recommend that plant. I notice actually that I've got a lovely ladybird there on this purple sage. I've seen a few ladybirds in the garden this year and that is so exciting. Yeah, so that's that job done then. Do you know what? It was a very quick, easy thing to do, but I still recommend doing things like this now if you can, because by the time we get into the later spring, we're all going to have so many jobs to do, you know, more seeds to sow, plants to put in the ground, pest control, you name it, that things like this, it's very easy for them to be missed. I do think that now is a really great time of year to do some repotting. You know, it's warming up that little bit, but the plants are still quite small, so it's really easy to do. So yeah, if you haven't done that yet and you've got some plants in your garden that haven't been potted for a while, it could be a good idea to do that job now, I think. Yeah, so I've got a little bit of tidying up to do now because, as usual for me, I've made a bit of a mess. Yeah, so that's the tidy up complete then. It actually didn't take too long, did it? Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the compost that I tidied up from the top of the lid there and the patio to feed my blackcurrants that I have in the planter. Now that planter was potted up with a mix of, well, all sorts really. um, you know, old vegetation, sticks, cardboard. I've got a whole video on that about how you can fill big planters up for next to no cost. I'll put a link so you can check that out if you've never seen that, because it really does save a lot of money, you know, if you can use some natural waste products that you have rather than having to buy bags and bags of compost. But yeah, this soil here will be a really good top up to that planter, so I'm going to add that on the top now. Yeah, so that's all gone now, and hopefully it can help feed some of my blackcurrant plants, because I am looking forward, I hope, to some tasty blackcurrants later on this summer. Hope you enjoyed this video from sunny Hertfordshire, and until next time, thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.